Most phones these days are pretty similar. I mean, they all basically have the same specs. You use them for pretty much the same thing, and that's a good thing. It's good that phones are so awesome now. But it makes it kind of hard for phones to actually stand out. But every once in a while, a phone does. And I think that this year, the Galaxy S10 is that phone. So when I pick up a phone, there's really three things that I'm looking for. Looking for great hardware, a great camera, and great software. And usually you have to pick one or two and you'll get that in a phone. But these kind of top-end flagships usually give you all three, and now it's just debating which one does it better. I think that the S10 has officially taken the cake in the Android world as being just the overall best phone with really no debate about it. Okay, so let's start with hardware. I mean, Samsung has always done hardware pretty well, at least for the last few generations. I mean, you get premium materials, the fit and finish is great, and then of course you have that screen. But this year, what I enjoy about the S10 is that it kind of decided to take its own route. It's not just copying what other phones have done in the past, which of course Samsung has been known to do, but now we kind of get its own unique style. The hole punch cutout is hard to miss, but after using the phone, I mean, I kind of like it. I was worried initially that it would be in the way because there's certain apps and things that you do that need that top right corner. But actually, when I'm using the phone, it just kind of fades away and I don't really notice it. I don't know if this is the trend that I want every single phone to take, but I'm glad that Samsung tried something new and it doesn't really bother me at all. And then we have even more new, like the in-screen fingerprint reader. Now Samsung isn't really the first to do this either, and honestly the implementation hasn't been the best. I do still have issues with the fingerprint reader every once in a while, but just as a technology, it's just plain cool. And all of that is built into the display, and of course Samsung is just excellent at making displays. Whether or not you like that kind of punchy, contrasty, saturated look that Samsung is known for is really up to you. But if you want a great screen, I mean, you're getting it here. Add all of that to the top-end specs that you're getting inside: expandable storage, a headphone jack, waterproofing. I mean, it has everything that you would want in a phone. But a phone needs more than just great build quality. I mean, you actually have to use the thing, and that's where software comes in. Now, I haven't been shy about saying that I really don't like Samsung's skin on top of Android, but with One UI, which is their new version, I actually think they did a really good job. My issue with Samsung skins before were that there was a ton of features, which a lot of them were really cool and you kind of wanted, but actually getting to them was kind of a pain. And then when you had to actually look at them, it was just ugly. One UI kind of reworks everything. Now it's easier to get to and it actually looks good as well. It's still kind of obvious that there is some inspiration here from other platforms, but I'm okay with that. I just want it to look good and actually work well. And it does. There are still some weird things like the obnoxiously big icons when you pull it out of the box, but to Samsung's credit, they actually let you change all of that. And a lot of people have been asking what my launcher is on this phone, and there's nothing. This is just stock One UI that I have customized, and Samsung lets me do that. This is the first year pretty much ever that I actually prefer Samsung's version of the OS over just stock Pixel Android, which is kind of crazy, and I never thought that I would be saying that. Okay, so before we get to the camera, I want to thank our sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in video production, photography, design, business, and more. Premium memberships give you unlimited access to classes so that you can join and start learning. And those subscriptions are affordable. It's less than $10 a month. So whether you want to fuel your curiosity, your creativity, or even your career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep learning and thriving in 2019. So if you want to get in on this, and trust me, you do, the first 500 of you to use the link down in the description will get a full 2-month free trial. So be sure to jump on that before it's gone. It's gonna go fast, and join the more than 7 million creators learning with Skillshare. Okay, so the camera system is something that I really look for in a phone. I need something that I can rely on that does everything I need, and I just don't really have to think about. I mean, I take a lot of video, I take a lot of photos, but I don't always want to be carrying these things around. So having a phone that can do a lot of that stuff for me is very important. Now I'm gonna say it, and I know there's gonna be a lot of you that just don't like this, but I think Samsung's camera system is better than what you get on the Pixel. I mean, the Pixel's camera is great, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like a two-trick pony. It does excellent processing, and it does great in low light. But really, that's about it. I mean, you only get one camera sensor, so you can't zoom in or go extra wide. It doesn't do 4K 60, and the video itself just doesn't look all that great. Yes, on the front, you do get a second wide angle camera, which is nice, but I mean, it's missing a lot of things that I would hope for in a camera system. The Galaxy S10 takes pretty great pictures on its own, but then it also packs in those extra features that you would want. So you get three cameras here. You get your normal one, you get your telephoto, and then you get the wide angle. Having these three pretty much take care of any scenario that I will encounter. If I need to take a picture of a big group or the entire room, the wide angle does well. If I just want the highest quality photo possible, then you just use the regular camera. And if I need to get something far away or I want to create a little bit more depth in my photo, that's what the telephoto is great at. Now, I don't think the S10 does processing nearly as good as what you get with the Pixel, but it's about 90% there. I still think the S10 destroys skin tones, especially in indoor situations. And I don't like how they do this weird over sharpening, but then like noise reduction. It's like both at the same time. It just looks weird and digital. But it's close enough for most of the time that the other features that the camera packs make up for it. So yeah, I'm calling this the best camera system on any phone right now, but that's the key word, best camera system. If you want the full package, I think this is the first place to look. So after using this phone for about a month, I mean, I've really fallen in love with it, which is something I don't say very often. And you know, inherently, it doesn't really do much different than other phones. It just checks every box that I think is most important in a phone, and more importantly, it does those things at the top of its class. So is it perfect? No, but it does mostly everything better than a lot of the competition out there. And because of that, I think it is the best Android phone ever.